Since Final Fantasy VII hit the shelves in the 90s, this game has been a part of my life. Since 10 years old, there hasn't been a year that I haven't had a replay through of Final Fantasy VII, whether it be on consoles, digital re-release, PC emulators, you name it. I have played this game so many times. I consider it one of the greatest games ever made. I was there day one when Final Fantasy VII Advent Children came out. I was one of many who thought about and got excited for a Final Fantasy VII remake and was there day one when it came out. I've always had this dream, this fantasy of a Hollywood executive coming up to me and saying, "We want you to cast a live-action Final Fantasy movie." I'm Dan from Nerd Alert, and this is my casting of a live-action Final Fantasy VII movie.
Let us defy destiny together. Cloud, there's still so much to be done.
So I know not everyone's going to agree with me, and that's fine. That's why we have a comment section. So head to that comment section if you disagree with a couple roles or all of them or whatever, and let's have a discussion. Let's share some ideas. That sounds fun to me, having a whole day where we talk about a Final Fantasy VII live-action movie. Before we go any further, just want to let you guys know that I'm not just putting actors and actresses in roles because they look the part. I'm also thinking like ensemble performances. I'm thinking height differentials between characters. So many factors on why I'm casting the way I'm casting. So without further ado, let's go ahead and cast the first character of the Final Fantasy VII live-action movie. And first on deck, we have Yuffie. Now, Yuffie has a deceiving innocence to her. She's young, she's funny, she's cute, but she has an edge. I mean, look at that weapon. She will cut you, and she will gut you good. I went with Japanese actress Kasumi Arimura for this role. You can watch her in the movies Strobe Edge and Flying Colors. She's an amazing actress. Though she's 27, she can pass for 19 to 22 years old. She can bring the innocence, she can bring the funny, she can bring the cute, and she can bring the edge. It's for these reasons I went with Kasumi Arimura for Yuffie. Now let's cast the next character in this movie, Cid. Now, one of the big misconceptions about Cid is that he's middle-aged, when he's actually listed as 32. So that's something to take into account while we cast this. So what do we know about Cid? Well, he's bitter, he's rough around the edges, he treats his assistant terribly. Oh my gosh, that is a video for a whole other day. I decided to go with actor Joel Kinnaman from Altered Carbon and House of Cards. Not only is Joel around the same age, but he's got the same build as Cid. He has great range, and he works well in an ensemble as seen in House of Cards. It's for these reasons I have casted Joel Kinnaman as Cid. Now let's move on to the next characters, Cait Sith and Reeve. Now the reason I'm doing Reeve and Cait Sith together is obviously because they are one in the same person. Now I've seen different dream casting of this Final Fantasy VII live action movie, and a lot of people have an actor and then a different voice actor. I figure, why can't we just get a good actor that's also great at voice acting? For that reason, I've chosen David Tennant. Now David Tennant can play Reeve very, very well. Reeve is a morally conflicted character, and David Tennant can play that very, very well. He can also deliver a fun voiceover for Cait Sith and kind of change it up to where someone outside of Final Fantasy VII wouldn't be able to guess that they're the same person. Now, David Tennant, I shouldn't have to explain where he's from, but I'll go ahead and do it anyway. Doctor Who, Broadchurch, Good Omens. He's one of the most underrated but finest actors of our generation, and I think he would be a fun addition to the Final Fantasy VII live-action movie. Now, without further ado, let's go and cast the next character, which I'm sure I'll get some comments on. We're going to be casting Vincent next. Ooh, y'all gonna hate me for this one. Ooh, okay, so first, what do we know about Vincent? He's a vampire, he's immortal, yet he looks 27, he's brooding, he's mysterious. I could have gone with the obvious choice here and gone Robert Pattinson because of the vampire experience, but again, I don't want to be obvious. This one, I kind of wanted to throw a wild card in there. So with that said, I'm going with Daniel Radcliffe. Now, don't email me, don't at me. I'm just saying Daniel Radcliffe plays brooding very, very well. He plays mysterious very well, and he's great in ensemble cast. It's for those reasons I think he'd make a great Vincent. It would be a nice surprise. It'd be one of those you don't think he's going to be a good one, and then he turns out to be a good one. So, yes, Daniel Radcliffe as Vincent. Now, next up on deck, we've got Red 13. Who's a good dog? Who's a good boy? Yes, that's a good doggy. Okay, I'm sorry. I love dogs. Red 13's adorable. But other than adorable, he's really wise and intelligent, and you need a voice to play that role. At first I was thinking Liam Neeson, but then I thought, man, Liam Neeson's voice is kind of dark, kind of brooding. We need to lighten it up a little bit more. So then I thought of someone else, someone better. That's why I think Red 13 would be played very, very well by Gary Oldman. You put Gary Oldman's voice on anyone and they sound intelligent. They could be a complete idiot, but if they had Gary Oldman's voice, I'd probably vote for him in an election, you know? So, Gary Oldman, Red 13, I think this is a good fit. And now next we are getting into the heavily favorited Final Fantasy VII characters, and where I think the discussion is going to open up in the comment section and the debating. So without much delay, let's just go ahead and cast the favorites of the Final Fantasy VII world. And we have Barret. Barret is one of the heavy favorites in the Final Fantasy VII world. What do we know about him? He will do anything it takes to give his daughter Marlene a better future. He's foul-mouthed. He doesn't care what you think. He has one goal and one goal only, and he will sacrifice anything at all costs to get that goal fulfilled. So, who do we pick? Well, Barret's kind of a hard choice, man. Barret's got this massive size to him, so you could go with a UFC fighter, you could go with a pro wrestler, but for me, I think Barret needs to be played by someone who has the acting chops. That's why for Barret, I'm going with Idris Elba. Now, while Idris Elba doesn't have the size, he is ripped, but because he's such a good actor, I think that it will be forgiven if Barret's size is toned down a little bit in a live-action movie. It is for this, I think Idris Elba would play a great Barret. He would bring all the personalities we love about Barret because he is such a good actor anyway. Moving on from Barret, we are going to Tifa. Tifa, another favorite in the Final Fantasy VII world. She is Cloud's best friend since childhood. She kinda has a thing for Cloud, but she doesn't pursue it very much. And she keeps Cloud balanced morally and keeps him focused on the main mission of the game. Look, I know I said in the beginning of the video I wasn't going to cast someone based on the fact that they look the part, but for this I'm making an exception. My pick for Tifa is actress Alison Brie. When I first saw her on Community, I said to myself, wow, she kind of looks like Tifa. But it's not just the looks. She's also great in an ensemble cast, judging from her shows Community and Glow. She can do drama, she can do comedy, and that's why I think Alison Brie would make the perfect Tifa. Now next we have everyone's favorite protagonist in Final Fantasy VII, Aerith. And here we are at the home stretch, guys, with Aerith, probably one of the most favorite Final Fantasy VII characters. She's innocent, she's Cloud's love interest. She has a mystique to her when you're first introduced, and then her story unravels, and you're just behind her every step of the way. I kind of went with a wild card on this one. I can't explain really the reasoning. It was just the first name to pop into my head. So with Aerith, I'm going with Cara Delevingne. Now, I trust Cara Delevingne with this role. In her other movies, she plays her roles really well, her female roles really well. She can be brooding, she can be, hard, she can be cold, distant, she can do it all. This would actually be a real big test for her because Aerith is so innocent, but one thing I really like about Cara Delevingne is she has a very recognizable and distinguished face. And I think for a role such as important as Aerith's, you need that type of look. You need a look that's going to stand out because Aerith sort of stands out in the game. So it's for that reason I'm going with Cara Delevingne. And next up we have the hero of our story, Cloud. And we have hit our hero of the story, Cloud. Cloud, this is another wild card. I think any one of us could throw out our own actor to play Cloud. I don't think there's one person where it's a definite yes, it's Cloud. I don't think it exists. I think we all have our own opinion. I decided to go with a wild card. At first, I thought Josh Hutcherson from Hunger Games would do a good job, but then I found somebody better and somebody a little bit taller than Josh Hutcherson, which plays an important role. Like I said earlier, height differential. So just right off the bat, I went with Evan Peters from American Horror Story and X-Men to play Cloud. He's a great actor, a fantastic actor. I chose a picture of him with blonde hair just to kind of give you an image that he resembles Cloud a little bit, but also he plays characters who suffer silently very, very well. And he's 5'11", which is going to be a factor when we get to our next choice, Seth Roth. And last but not least, we have Seth Roth. Now, this was another difficult pick because, like Cloud and like Aerith, there's not a definite person we can all agree on. You know, everybody will have their own choice. My choice for Seth Roth is going to have to be Bill Skarsgård from It. He has a very menacing look. He plays a villain really well. He did an awesome job as Pennywise, and he's a fantastic actor. But more importantly, he is 6'4", and the height differential between Cloud and Seth Roth, to me, is very, very important. It's another added element to the story of good versus evil. It gives Cloud and Seth Roth a David versus Goliath factor, and I think if you're going to do a live-action movie, you need to include that element. But yes, that is my choice, Bill Skarsgård as Seth Roth. And thank you so much for watching. This has been my dream cast of a live-action Final Fantasy VII movie. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you agreed with some picks, or that you could see some of these actors and actresses playing these roles. If you disagree, like I said in the beginning, go ahead and leave a comment. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss it. Let's share some ideas. I'm very much open to hearing what you have to say. Other than that, thank you for sticking around and watching this whole video, and come back to more videos, because this is not the only Dreamcast we're going to do. I'm Dan. This has been the Dreamcast of the live-action Final Fantasy VII movie, and again, thank you for watching.